India and in Germany. Our second brand is all made in Germany, right? We decided to go for nearshoring. We decided to avoid China altogether. And it is possible to do that, and there are good reasons for it. Me and my better half, we have 5 different companies. One of the companies is Zignify Global Product Sourcing. Again, not Christmas hat, but New Year hat to make everybody happy. Our team is about 60 women and my husband. He's the only guy. So an International Women's Day is not a good day for him. However, in Germany we have an International Men's Day, so that's a very good day for him. So, now to the horror of what has happened in the last few months. I'm not a political person. I personally stay away of expressing my opinion on who should or should not be a president, but this is a fact, right? We have Donald Trump, who won the elections in the United States, and this will tremendously affect each and every person in this room. I do not care where you live. If you live in Tibet, if you live in Dubai, if you live in South America, in Puerto Rico, it doesn't matter. This will affect each and every person on planet Earth, because we live in a globalized world, and this is a closed ecosystem where everything affects everything. So Trump won, and this will make things a little bit worse, because he wants to make America wealthy again, which potentially might mean that people will actually be losing money. So with the things that he has in store. A lot of people, when Trump was the president in his first time, right, he installed what we in the industry, in the supply chain industry call, do you know? The Trump tax. A very beautiful, magical name, a Trump tax. So the Trump tax was an additional 25% import tax on the goods that were manufactured in China and came into the United States. It was tens of thousands of different products. So let's say you want to sell this clicker in the United States. It's electronics. You're buying this in China for, let's say, $1, okay? Because it's under the Trump tax, you will pay an additional 25% on your purchasing price plus your shipping cost, right? You put it together and you add additional 25%, meaning 25% of your margin is being eaten away by the tax. The problem right now is Trump said, once I'm in power in January, I will put on new taxes, and this is what everybody is focusing upon. I will put 60%, I will put 70% on China, woo! The problem is, most of the people are not reading the articles online properly. The problem is the people are not listening to what Trump is saying properly. He said, yes, China, up to 60 or 70%. But Trump also said, I'm going to have a blanket tariff. Do you know what a blanket tariff is? Does anybody know what a blanket tariff is? And it's not a tariff on your blankets, no. It's for any goods, any products that will come from anywhere of the outside of the United States. Canada, Mexico, India, Dubai, it doesn't matter. He wants to put a blanket tax on each and every item that comes from across the border, right? 10%. This is the thinking, and this is what people are not seeing. If you will look in the social media, if you try to read some articles right now, you will see that currently the trade war between the United States, Canada, and Mexico has already started. Because Donald Trump has said, if you are not going to curb and if you're not going to deal with your immigration policies, if the the flood of the people from Canada and Mexico is not going to stop coming into United States, we will impose a 25% tariff on each and every item that comes from Mexico and Canada into the United States. So where is it safe? Is it safe anywhere? No, we're all kind of, right? It seems that way. However, there are different solutions. There are many things in place. So it is time to find the manufacturer, and it's a good time. Actually, the good time to find the manufacturer outside of China was about 3 years ago. But still, I'm going to make a German joke. I've been living in Germany long enough, and if any of you know, Germans are not fun. I apologize to any Germans in the audience, but you're not fun. So it's time to find a new manufacturer outside of China. And I mean right now, or better, yesterday, I will be so rich, as I am so smart, right? Not funny. Absolutely. However, there are many different ways that people can optimize their costs, and they can start looking into other countries as well. So this is what people are missing, different points. So, does anybody actually sell products here, online or offline? Any products? Okay, a few people. So, most of the people, and even if you don't sell anything, even if you are not going to sell anything in the future, you need to understand a few things about how manufacturing works and how the stuff that we all have, how it is being made, how much effort is being put into it, and how much people who are making that stuff are actually making. Okay? So this is a very, very small factory in China. They're manufacturing shoes there. I was there in November with our China sourcing trip. And we were taking the people to see everybody, literally every person here is wearing a pair of shoes, whether it's sandals, it doesn't matter. So this is a product, as consumable product as it can be. But does anybody actually know how many here? I have, let's call them sneakers, right? Your normal sneakers, Nike, or doesn't matter. Question, how many people, can I have a microphone please? Thank you. You're very skeptical, so we will start with you. So, how many people do you think it takes to manufacture your shoes? Okay, he said 5. Thoughts? How many? 40 people to produce one pair of shoes. And then many pairs of your shoes. Okay, that's interesting. Let's ask you, 3 people to produce one pair of shoes. Okay, most of you are not far. It actually takes about 7 people, 7 to 10 people to produce one pair of shoes. Because there are many different processes involved in actually doing this, right? Japanese started this lean manufacturing ages ago where you go step by step by step by step for efficiency. And in the beginning you have that efficiency, but people get bored, people get tired, unmotivated, so you gotta scream at them and then the whole thing kind of blows up. So these are the basic processes without getting into many details of how to make shoes. Again, many people, and it doesn't take a few minutes. It can take, you look like you have fancy Italian or something shoes, right? So those are probably completely handmade. This can take several days to make. My shoes are cheaper, so that's like under a day, so that's perfectly fine. So again, we need to understand, if you want to get your prices for your products, or your existing products, or your potential products lower, you need to understand what are the processes that are involved in actually manufacturing your products. I've collected a few more examples on some other products and how many people does it actually take to make those products. A simple backpack, of which we have plenty in the room, 7 to 13 people, depending on the complexity. A shower head in your home, in your hotel room, anywhere, 4 to 6 people. And I'm not even taking into consideration the manufacturing of the raw material. I'm only taking into consideration, let's call it the final assembly. Vitamins, right? We all bought vitamins, very famous items right now to sell everywhere in the world. 6 to 10 people. Fancy crystal glasses when you're drinking champagne because you closed the big deal. 3 to 4 people. Anybody who is sitting on a chair, 6 to 10 people to make one chair, which is insane. My favorite, of course, are the BMW cars. We are in Dubai. There are a few BMWs in Dubai. I myself live in Germany, so we went to the BMW museum and we've seen some manufacturing. So to manufacture one BMW car, again, this is just the final assembly, more than 200 people to put one car together on a 6-kilometer production line, which takes about 36 hours. It's insane, but it's also very beautiful, it's very precise and high quality. Even little notebooks where you scribe in your notes, if you're a paper person like me, it takes 5 to 7 people to manufacture. So you need to understand, if you want to sell a product, or if you're already selling a product and you want to optimize some costs, what does it take to actually manufacture your product? And the reason for this is very big. In most of the companies, startups or anywhere, staff, FTEs, full-time employees, part-time employees, freelancers, they're the highest cost, right? People are expensive. You have cheaper people, but people, right? We don't want people working in our companies because my husband wants to automate everything with AI. I prefer people because I'm going into the niche. You all use AI, but I'm going to be working with people. So this is the biggest cost. So, give you some examples of how much are people being paid to work in a factory across the globe. Indonesia, actually USD 200 is too high for Indonesia. If you ask, it's like top monthly, not daily, not hourly, this is monthly. $200 a factory worker in Indonesia is getting paid. And this is not a human rights violation or anything like this. It's enough to live on that money and to provide for your family in that country. Not in Dubai, right? China, USD 400 is the lowest right now, USD 400 to 600. So you can already see people in China are more expensive than people in Indonesia. If you want to manufacture in Korea, Korean cosmetics, extremely popular and just growing every single day, 1,750. If you want to manufacture in Germany, they're very expensive, $2,316. That's the average monthly. United States is the most expensive one, $2,700. And a lot of people who are selling their products in the United States, they're also looking at Mexico to manufacture their products. But they underestimate Mexico in quite a few ways. If you're a large multinational corporation like Walmart or Best Buy, you have the money, you have the resources, and you have the people who can speak Spanish. Most of the people in Mexico do not speak Spanish. Only people who go to private schools and pay for their education, they can speak, English, not Spanish, English. So Mexico is actually quite high on the salary, and they're not optimized and they're not so efficient. So there are many, many other countries that are better for manufacturing. So one of the things I want to tell you is how to find manufacturers outside of China. When we're going to China, everybody knows Alibaba.com, right? Or 1688, Yaoliubaba. Or there's a few other websites. Or you can go to Canton Fair. So kind of easy. And Alibaba, for many years, they have been trying to add foreign manufacturers, especially from Europe and the United States, onto their platform. but they're facing huge difficulties. The reason for this is most of the manufacturers in Europe, they're owned by a very specific category of people. These are, no offense, white men, 55 years old. They have 2 BMWs, they have a house in Germany, house in Mallorca. So this is the group. They're happy with what they do. They don't want to make more money. They don't need to make more money. They're happy where they are. So this is why Alibaba had difficulties of onboarding them on the platform. Because they're like, I don't need it. Why the hell do I need this? But now, it's getting better. Because the children of those men, they're taking over the business and they're optimizing and they're opening tremendous opportunities for private label. This goes for everywhere in Europe, Germany, Italy, Sweden, Switzerland, Austria, and for United States. My suggestion, if you're selling any of your products or want to sell products in the United States, take a look if you can manufacture those products in the United States. Most of the people, they think, oh no, I can only go to China. In the United States, you can manufacture furniture, skincare, hygiene products, gardening products, textiles, metal, decor. The list is endless. So dig a little bit deeper. One of the ways, if for example, you live in Dubai and you're trying to find a manufacturer, let's say in India, you can fly to India, right? But I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to waste my money. What can I do? Very easy. You go online, you go on Google, and you try to find a few trade shows that happened the year before or will about to happen. For example, textile trade show India, furniture trade show India, or Expo, etc., etc. You go on their webpage and you will find the list of exhibitors the same way like you can find a list of exhibitors here. Here, you have a list of your manufacturers. You don't need to go anywhere. Also, who uses social media? Instagram, TikTok, we all use, right? All use social media. So when I'm here, what do? I take a photo, I post it. Here, I'm in Dubai, Commerce City, All of the exhibitors, manufacturers, they also post online. So people underestimate Instagram and YouTube as search engines for manufacturers. You can literally go on Instagram and type in manufacturer, wood, India, because those guys will be posting and there will be a tag, a geolocation in there, and there will be tags as well. So social media, sourcing trips to China, to Indonesia, to Vietnam, a great way not only to find manufacturers, but to learn many different things about your business or potential new business you want to do. Because usually you go with a group of people for like 8 to 10 days, and you are kind of together and you're exchanging, so it's like a 10-day mastermind, so it's really cool. Partnerships, meaning ask around, right? I ask you, do you know a factory in Cambodia that manufactures hats? You're gonna say no. The next question, right? He's a factory and I'm talking to him. I can say, okay, thank you, bye-bye. Or I can say, but do you by any chance know of any factory who might potentially produce this? You just need to ask one extra question, just for help. So, being on the ground method is you're actually flying into the countries on your own and you're attending trade shows. Why were we talking about how much do people cost in different countries? The answer is very easy. Does anybody know what this product is? Do you do your own laundry? You wash your own clothes, right? There you go. So, in order to wash your clothes, you actually need something to make the clothes clean. So these are called laundry sheets. It's a sheet, you put it in a washing machine, very small, eco-friendly, blah, 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 all of those things. So we had a customer who used to buy those laundry ships from China. He came to us when he faced the problem that when he purchased the products, he didn't realize that there was the Trump tax on it, additional 25%. So by the time he got the products into the country, not only he was not breaking even, he was losing money. Our job was to find the manufacturer of these laundry sheets at the same price or better somewhere else. We found the manufacturer, this one is in Spain, but we found the manufacturer in Sweden where the customer is now producing. And most of the people would say, but how can you manufacture cheaper in Sweden than in China? That's very easy. Because the guys in Sweden and the guys in Spain, they have one or two people who turn on the machine, and that's it. The rest is done by the machinery. They have very high levels of equipment utilization. When you have machines working instead of people, you can stretch your economies of scale and you can negotiate better prices with your manufacturer. So when you're actually looking for a manufacturer, one of the things we're asking, oh, how many production lines do you have? What machinery do you have? How many people does it take to produce your product? All of those questions, because we're trying to understand how many people are actually involved in production. Because if it's a lot of machines, then we can negotiate better pricing. So now the customer produces in Sweden instead of China. Not only he dropped the import tax, but his price is about 10 cents cheaper than in China, his shipping time is faster. So instead of shipping from China, he lowered it down, and now he can get his money back faster, which is great for any business. There are different types of people out there who sell different products. This is a really cool brand, and these guys, they went the opposite way. So they do everything handmade, right? They sell shoes, like this was Black Friday, so 136 euros. Now with the exchange rate, so it's 136, $140. Their original price is about $170, $180. They don't want to produce with machines. They want to produce unique, by hand, eco-friendly, limited edition, etc., etc. And this is what they're doing. So these guys in production will cost about 25 to 30 euros. Whereas if these were produced in China from the same sustainable, recyclable materials by the machine, they would cost half the price, right? But it all depends on what you want your business to be and your business to show. And exactly, they're saying we're vegan shoes, produced in Portugal, all wonderful, local mini factories in there, very, very different, and it's everybody's choice. For our second brand, it is very unique skincare, and it is specifically made in Germany, and it is more expensive because I would rather sell fewer units, but I will have higher margins, and I have a very unique targeting, the group that I'm actually targeting. So, quickly recap. So, what is happening in China right now? Actually, already a few years back, in order to encourage Chinese manufacturers to do more exports, Chinese government made it easier for Chinese companies to get the export VAT back. They're giving them different types of stimulus packages. However, the targeted growth has not been reached for this year in China, the GDP, and most likely it's not going to be there next year either. Currently, if you are searching for manufacturers in China, or you already have manufacturers in China, it is a perfect time to negotiate your prices because supply is higher than the demand coming from the people. So it's a perfect opportunity. You can see that Canton Fair, the biggest exhibit in the world, the numbers have dropped. Since Corona started, the numbers went down. Fewer American customers, and they're trying to attract more customers from other countries. So, but we need to remember, Elon Musk, who is one of the advisors of Trump right now, he has huge business interests in China. And if you read the news today and yesterday evening, China has banned export of 3 types of materials that are being used in the manufacturing of military equipment and anything military related to the United States. They completely banned it. So now the American Army, the Army, Navy, and all of them, they don't have the components to produce a lot of equipment. So China did a preemptive strike, meaning I don't think that the tariffs that Trump will impose will be as bad as he is promising. Because one of the most important things for the United States always is their army, and to make sure they spend a lot of money on it and that they have everything. So, and currently the interest rates will be growing, and you have lack of skilled workers in the United States. Even though Trump wants to bring the jobs back, he cannot. They don't know how to do those jobs, and they will need to be trained to do this. So if you are manufacturing in China, you still have a few years to kind of switch over and find potential other opportunities. Yeah, another thing that happened recently is the aluminum and copper also rebates. So if you're selling an aluminum product, your prices are going to go up. So be careful with this, and it will stay like this for the foreseeable future whilst we're fighting the trade war. I'm out of time, I'm -30, I'm blinking, he is nodding, so I'm sorry. Yeah, so if you, this is my financial advisor. For those of you a little bit older, Scrooge McDuck, right? He is the best financial advisor in the world who has been giving financial advice since the 50s. I really encourage you to Google it. And the biggest, the top YouTubers, vloggers and bloggers who talk about finances, they got it from him and they don't even know it. Top financial advisor. If you want the presentation, you want to talk to us, that's our website. Thank you very much. Enjoy your lunch, have fun, and thank you.